Arata Kaizaki, a 27-year-old NEET, struggles to find steady work. One night after drinking, he meets Ryo Yoke from the ReLIFE lab, who offers him a spot in the ReLIFE experiment, live as a high schooler for a year with all expenses covered. Arata takes a pill that makes him look 17 and starts school at Ayaba High. On day 1, he makes a bad impression when his teacher, Kokoro Amatsu, finds cigarettes in his bag and demands an apology letter. Later, Arata discovers Ryo also took the pill to secretly watch over him. Ryo reveals the experiment's goal, giving Arata a second chance to change his life by reliving his youth. Kokoro picks Oga and Hishiro as class reps. Arata notices Carrie's jealousy and is surprised Onoya also flunked the tests. Oga mentions gifting Carrie an earring. Arata lends Hishiro lunch money, but her bluntness surprises him. Later, she opens up about her social struggles, and they bond, exchanging numbers. That night, Ryo advises Arata to quit smoking, and Hishiro texts, promising to repay him. In the morning, Arata finds out Chizuru paid him back in a funny way. Before heading to the staff room, she gives a forced smile to Renai, who takes it the wrong way. During P, the boys and girls are coached separately. Asagi and Inukai impress, but Kazuomi struggles, and Arata hurts his shoulder. Rina and En run fast, but Hanoka stands out as the most athletic. Rina, who saw Chizuru as a rival, realizes Chizuru didn't even know her. Chizuru asks Rina to time her sprint, easing the tension. Arata then injures his knee and gets carried to the infirmary by Asagi. The next day, Arata and Chizuru walk to school together, and Rina notices Chizuru smiling naturally around him. Rina's self-esteem takes a hit as she misreads Chizuru's awkward smile as a smug smirk and sees Hanoka's athleticism as a threat, despite their friendship. At lunch, Arata notices Chizuru sitting alone and spots Rina glaring at her. That evening, Chizuru texts Arata, thinking she's getting along with Rina. Arata asks Ryo for advice, but Ryo warns him not to meddle. After class, Chizuru and Kazuomi attend a staff meeting, while Rina and Hanoka practice volleyball. Nobunaga and Akira later arrive to walk Hanoka home. It's revealed Rina used to be the female class rep before Chizuru took over. Jealous, Rina returns the gym key, then steals Chizuru's bag only to be caught by Arata, and the two tumble down a flight of stairs. At the infirmary, Nurse Sumayer leaves after Arata wakes, while Rina remains asleep. Arata remembers his time at a toxic job, where his boss, Seiki, was bullied. When Rina wakes, he confronts her about stealing Chizuru's bag. She admits feeling insecure about being outshined by Hanoka and Chizuru, but Arata encourages her to keep trying. Later, he tells Chizuru what happened, and she decides to talk to Rina. As Arata and Ryo secretly listen in, Chizuru explains her awkward smile and social struggles. Rina apologizes and agrees to be friends on the condition that Chizuru sees her as a rival. The next day, Rina and Hanoka join Chizuru for lunch in the cafeteria. During Golden Week, Arata hides his beer and cigarettes before Kazuomi and then arrive for a study session. After Kazuomi leaves for work and questions Arata about a job interview marked on his calendar. Meanwhile, Ryo hacks Arata's phone and rushes over, worried he's alone with En. When En hints she met Arata at the convenience store and confesses she fell for him at first sight, she tries to kiss him but Arata stops her, just as Ryo bursts in. Ryo scolds her, but En reveals she was only testing him. It's revealed En is actually Ryo's co-worker at ReLIFE and was originally meant to be Arata's supervisor but failed her training. She apologizes, and Ryo hopes Arata will stay in the program, while secretly admitting his explanation wasn't the full truth. While logging Arata's progress, Ryo recalls his past mistake of getting too attached to his first test subject, who ultimately failed the ReLIFE experiment. He later scouted Arata at a convenience store and was initially discouraged, but En confirmed Arata had been approved as the second test subject, with Ryo as his supervisor. Ryo got Arata's prescription from R&D head Kento Amigase, and after quitting his job, Arata took the ReLIFE pill. Back in the present, Ryo notes in his report that Arata shows remorse for his mistakes, is trying to improve, and is starting to positively affect those around him. Arata fails the midterms again, while En passes. Kokoro encourages Arata and Hanoka to pass their makeup exams, with extra pressure on Hanoka as the volleyball captain. Arata finds it funny when they think Kazuomi likes En. Later, Hanoka overhears gossip, but Rina defends her. Akira tutors Hanoka with snacks from Sumayer. The next day, Hanoka passes, but Arata fails. During practice, Hanoka faints from exhaustion, causing Rina to sprain her ankle, creating tension between them. Arata takes a red pill to look normal and visit Mikiru's grave, if Ryo joins him. He recalls Mikiru's suicide from work bullying and quitting his toxic job. At the grave, they meet Zen and Rumi, who admire Arata for leaving. He says he's managing with temp work. On the way back, he admits he didn't want to give false hope. Unbeknownst to him, Ryo had in plan the meetup to help him find closure. Arata and Chizuru briefly run into Anne and Ryo on their way to school. With summer break near, Kazuomi plans to take college prep classes. Later, Arata, Ryo, and Anne chat about how Kazuomi still doesn't notice Rina's feelings. The next day, Arata talks to Kazuomi about relationships. After school, they see Rina with Zen. Kazuomi learns Zen was helping her after heat stroke and walks her home. The following day, Kazuomi admits to Arata that he likes Rina. After getting advice from friends, he decides to ask her to the fireworks festival and confess. Rina, after receiving the invite, turns to Hanoka and Chizuru for advice. At the fireworks festival, Rina and Kazuomi finally confess their feelings thanks to their friends' help. Ryo and Anne also give Arata and Chizuru time alone. As fireworks light the sky, Chizuru tells Arata she's glad they met, remembering her start as the first ReLIFE subject. Later, Arata sits alone, realizing he loves Chizuru but can't confess, knowing she'll forget him. Walking home, they promise not to forget each other. Ryo tells Anne she'll be Chizuru's new supervisor and notes how Arata's kindness left a lasting impact.